Hola, muy buenas. Hello there. My name is Beatriz Cutillas-Moreno, but you can call me BCM. BCM, you Spanish. And I say you Spanish because you make it happen. And today we're gonna learn a classic. The verb to be, that in Spanish is covered by two verbs, ser and estar. But before we start with this, I would like to mention something. Did you realize at the beginning of the video that I said hola muy buenas? I just absolutely adore this way of greeting people. So instead of saying buenas tardes, buenas noches, or buenos días, you can say hola buenas or hola muy buenas. And you can also use this in either informal or formal situations. So an example of that is like if I'm gonna say hello to a very close friend, I could say hola buenas, hola muy buenas. However, if I'm gonna speak to, a person of authority in Spain or in a very formal setting like a business meeting, you will say this with a little bit more of distance and you will just say hola muy buenas. So see the difference of intonation, hola muy buenas, and then it becomes straight away formal. So I wanted to teach you this because I come from Alicante and I have heard plenty of people who has tried to say buenos días, buenas noches, and sometimes we start with saying oh buenas and then start thinking oh is it the morning, is it the evening, and guess what, with the hola buenas or hola muy buenas you don't need to do that. Okay, and so for those of you that don't know me, I had to learn English in a very fast pace when I was following my scientific career and I wanted to become a doctor in the UK, and I have never studied English before, so I learned as an adult and it was quite a process. But during the process I realized that there was a different way to actually learn a language that was very effective and very different to what we've been told in school. And I believe that with this method of mine you can learn Spanish in a much more efficient time, in a much more efficient way than what you probably are taught in standard lessons, and become fluent in no time. So anyway, without further ado, let's start with, and by the way, if you like the teachings that I am providing and what you are learning, please subscribe so then you'll be alerted of all of the videos that I will be uploading, okay? Thank you so much. It's very much appreciated. And without further ado, let's start with the lesson for today, okay? So, imagine I'm gonna say, I am Spanish, or I am at the shop. In English language we use the same, but in Spanish we use two verbs, ser and estar. Okay, so I believe that a good way to learn things and that you can apply in your Spanish language learning is to make associations. And so, for example, the verb ser, I associate it to siempre, and siempre means always, and we use the verb ser for things that don't really change, and you will see what I mean as we progress in the video. And the verb estar, to me, it sounds like a star in the sky, and you could think of a shooting star that basically is there and then the next minute is not there, so it changes, okay? Because we use a star to imply situations that are changeable. So let's have a look at some examples. With the verb ser for siempre or always, an example will be to say I am Beatriz, so I will say soy Beatriz. So for example, if your name is Chris, you will say soy Chris. If your name is Amanda, you will say soy Amanda. If your name is Andrew, you will say soy Andrew. Okay, so it's quite easy and it's a great alternative to the sentence me llamo Beatriz, me llamo Chris, me llamo Amanda, me llamo Andrew, because let's face it, me llamo is often a full mouth, isn't it, to say me llamo something, and soy Beatriz, soy Chris, soy Amanda, soy Andrew. Is nice and sharp, is fast, and is effective, and it means exactly the same pretty much. Unless you change your name, you are that person, or that identity is with you pretty much all of your life. So let's have a look at some more examples. You could say, I am friendly and kind. So you will say, soy amigable y amable. Okay, so soy amigable y amable. Okay, so that will be one of the examples. Which one was the other examples I had? ¿Por qué se me olvidan las cositas? No lo comprendo. Oh yeah, you could say, to say I am tall, you could say soy alta. This will be for a lady, but if it's a gentleman, if I was a man, I will say soy alto. By the way, I'm gonna do another video on the famous feminine and masculine, so don't worry for now about it, okay? So I'm tall. It's very unlikely that your height is gonna change, so soy alta, soy alto, okay? Now let's have a look at estoy. Estoy. So you could say, for example, I am happy, estoy feliz. Estoy feliz, okay? You could say, what do we have here? Estoy guapa con este pintalabios. I look pretty wearing this lipstick. If it was a gentleman, and in the case of wearing a shirt, it will be, if I was a gentleman, I will say estoy guapo con esta camisa. Con esta camisa. Okay? ¿Qué más? ¿Qué más? ¿Qué más? Tenía más ejemplos, creo. Estoy en la tienda. I am at the shop. Estoy en la tienda, because you are at the shop, but at some point you will be somewhere else, okay? So let's recap. So for soy and your name. Soy alto for a man, soy alta for a woman, soy amable for both, either a man or a woman. For estoy feliz, estoy en la tienda, estoy guapa o estoy guapo. Okay, there are connotations. So for example, in the case of estoy feliz, you could also say soy feliz. But soy feliz, so if you remember, ser or soy por associated to the word siempre or always. So if you would say soy feliz, it has a very deep meaning of happiness, you know. It will be like you are absolutely full of happiness if you say soy feliz, okay? So for the everyday happiness, which is like, you know, I am happy, we will say estoy feliz. And for something, for a very special day in your life, like for example, the day that you get married, or the day that one of your children, I don't know, win an Olympic medal, or the day that you get the job of your dreams, or you buy a house, then it's like, soy feliz. So basically, you couldn't go to your boss and say, soy feliz, because your boss will be like, no one has asked you, thank you very much. So if you know what I mean, it's very deep. It's got nearly like a romantic connotation to it, yeah? So every day, estoy feliz, which is changeable, and a very deep moment, soy feliz, like always, okay? In the case of guapo or guapa, which is good looking, guapo or guapa is purely referring to physical aspect, okay? It's not beautiful as in English that you have the inner beauty. Guapo or guapa is physique purely. We have other words to describe a good person, but it's not guapo or guapa. But in this instance, you could say, estoy guapa con este vestido, o estoy guapo con esta camisa, for a man. But you could also say, soy guapa, or you could say, soy guapo. That means that you have like you are saying that you have a natural beauty, literally, like since you were born to always, you have that beauty that is very natural and is steady beauty throughout the years. Okay? So yes, I hope that you are enjoying this class and learning loads. I'm sure you are. And something else that you may be wondering is why I am not saying yo soy, and why I am not saying yo estoy. And the reason why is because for both instances, yo estoy, yo soy, adding the word yo, which is I, gives a reinforcement of the sentence. It gives an intonation that implies making a point or an explanation when something has not gone as planned. So that's why. So you will see this much more clearer with some examples. So see, I'm gonna put an English language example first, okay? And then I'm gonna put a couple of Spanish examples. So see, if you are in a cafe and then the waiter or waitress comes over and then you say, oh, I'd like a cappuccino, please. And yeah, that's your normal you, that you are like calm and you know, your everyday. And then it's like, I'd like a cappuccino, please. I would like a latte, please. If you realize that I is very subtle and is nearly not there. We pronounce it in English, but it's extremely faint in a way. The intonation is not strong. Now imagine the waiter comes and you say, I would like a coffee. Then the waiter will be like, what is the matter? So I exaggerated that a little bit, okay, to see the example, but in Spanish language, I remember, so see, it's for example different to say, soy así, soy así. Soy así means I am that way, you know, always. Soy así. I remember when I was a teenage, I will be a little bit cheeky to my parents sometimes, and I will say, yo soy así. In a way, you are implying that that's not changing. So, soy así, it already implies that it's not changing. I am like that. But if on top of that you say, yo soy así, it's like you are determined. You're making a point that you are that way. Okay? So that's why I've not been introducing in my examples, yo soy así, or yo estoy aquí, or the yo, we don't really use it much. We will use it maybe writing a little bit more, but not when we are communicating in a spoken language. Another example of that is, for example, see if something goes wrong. With estoy, you can also use the yo, and again, it implies a connotation of reinforcing the statement that you are saying. So an example of that will be, imagine my sister rings me and she will be like, oh, I need you to come here right now. And then I will say, pero estoy en la tienda. Pero yo estoy en la tienda. So what I just said there is like my sister will say, oh, I need you to be here right now. And I have said, but I am in the shop, at the shop. So you are saying, pero yo estoy en la tienda. So in a way, it's like reinforcing that you are there and that you cannot go anywhere. Whereas, for example, if she calls me and say, hi, and I'll be like, hi, I'll be like, estoy en la tienda. You know, it's a more happy, relaxed, it's like, estoy en la tienda. I wouldn't say, yo estoy en la tienda. So, yo estoy en la tienda is an explanation, is making a point that something I need to reinforce that that's me. Okay? So, as you can tell, same as in English, in Spanish language, there are a lot of subtleness in terms of the intonation, and I don't think that much of this is actually taught when you are in a standard lessons, but with my videos, you'll get to learn that too. So yes, and if you like what you are learning with my videos, please subscribe so then you can be alerted of all the videos that I am uploading. And so if you would like, we can just wrap up the session by repeating these terms, and then that'll be it for today. I'm really tired, I want to sleep. So, oh, something I was meant to say as well is that, see, when I was saying that estoy guapa con este pintalabios, see, the word pintalabios is very quirky, and you know I like my quirky words, and so basically it's compounded by two words, pinta and labios. So pinta is paint, literally it means paint, and labios means lips. Pinta labios, isn't it great? I love it. Thank you so much. So anyway, let's if you don't mind, let's repeat with me these sentences, because I think it's essential to speak out the language. I know that maybe you don't have a lot of opportunity to practice the language at this moment in time, but I am pretty sure that that will change and you will find situations to practice, or you will practice with the people nearby. But for the purpose of today, please repeat after me, if possible out loud, so you start vocalizing those sentences and they go in your brain, believe me, and they stick better when you say them, write them. So write them is very important, then say them out loud. Okay, so let's do this. Although I know sometimes, you know, it's not really fun to repeat things, but it's the way it works. Repetition is key for learning. So let's start with this. So I am, and my name will be, please use your name, so I'll use mine. Soy Beatriz. So you say your name. I'll repeat again. Soy Beatriz. Okay. And then let's say I am tall. Soy alta, for a lady. Now if I was a gentleman, I'll say soy alto. Okay. And now if we say I am kind, it will be soy amable, for either a lady or a gentleman. Now if we want to say I am like that, it'll be soy así, soy así. If we would like to make a point of something, you could use yo, then yo soy así, yo soy así. Or if, for example, I wanted to emphasize my identity, who I am, I could say, yo soy Beatriz. You know, it's like yo soy Beatriz. It strengthens the sentence a lot. Or say, for example, if I want to emphasize that I am Spanish, like if I were very patriotic and I wanted to emphasize that, I will say yo soy española. It's like I'm making that point. Now let's practice the estar or estoy. So estoy en la tienda, to say I am at the shop. Estoy guapa con esta camisa. For a lady, if I was a gentleman, it'll be estoy guapo con esta camisa. For the ladies, we can say estoy guapa con este pinta labios. Okay, thank you. We could say also estoy feliz. Estoy feliz. Yeah, for everyday feliz, everyday happiness, so it could change a little bit. Or soy feliz for, you know, a situation where it's a very special day. So anyway, this is all for today, and I hope that you are learning a lot. I am sure that you are. Keep practicing, get communicating in Spanish. Open this brand new world, which is the world that you open when you speak a different language, because then you can connect so much more with the people you know at a different level, but also with new people that you will meet. So, habla español, comunícate en español y entra en un mundo nuevo. Muchísimas gracias.